Hi everybody, this is Kelly with Soulful Creations, and today's tutorial is going to be on the JeroniMini by KC Original. So don't forget, remember, I did the video for the JeroniMore, then I did the JeroniMini, and now I'm doing the JeroniMini. Now before all of those, the originator was the Geronimo. Okay, so this whole line is continuing to expand. So if you've got the other three, you have to get this JeroniMini, and you're gonna love this one. I'm telling you, it sews up so quickly. I did all three of these in just 2 days. That's cutting out, doing any kind of interfacing I needed to do, sewing it all up, even doing the video just in 2 days. So that's how quickly they sew up. So this was the first one I did, and let me just show you the details on here. So the first, here we have a zipper pocket right on the flap, okay? And you can have it lined. I've lined mine, but you can line it or not line it, okay? So I'm using, this one is leather. It's made out of this eggplant looking color leather, okay? And then on the side we have another side pocket, and when you open that up, there's a card slot pocket, so you can put 2 cards there, and then there's room for bills, whatever you want to put in there, okay? And we have the snap tab, which is, now that's a common thing on the whole Geronimo line, right? And so under this flap, we have an ID card pocket, so you can put another credit card in here. You can put your ID, okay? And then we have another pocket here, which will fit, probably fit a nice cell phone, right? Okay, and then on the back, there's another pocket on the back, okay? And you see I'm using these connectors, these little side connectors on this one, all right? So, and look at the, you can jazz it up with this webbing. We have these nice strap connectors that go down to a 3/4 inch swivel hook. So you don't need 1.5 inch swivel hooks for this, but you do need to have a 1.5 inch rectangle ring and a slider, unless you choose to make your own strap, and you can make your strap in any size you want, right? So we have that one. I also made this one in black leather, and I have this one I think is for me, because I love this leopard or cheetah, whatever you want to call it. I think it's leopard. And again, all of them have the same detail, okay? I lined this one, have pocket, I lined the pocket here, but this one I use these corset rings, and they work just fine, and they can swivel a little, so if you want to have it more to the side, or if you're holding it, it comes up, so it kind of moves with the bag here. So that's one. And then I also use the corset rings on this one, and it's just attached with rivets, okay? I've seen, I think, a couple of testers use grommets, so you can be very creative with the connectors here, okay? They just can't be too big, because this is only like a 3/8 inch space that you have, so they have to be like 1/2 inch, very small connectors there, okay? So this is the one that I did for the video, and my daughter Joy has already claimed this one, but I just love it. I combined leather with vinyl on this one, and you can make the JeroniMini out of leather, vinyl, cork. It's just not just for leather, which is so good. Any material that doesn't fray, so you can do, and you can edge paint or leave it raw. These I did not edge paint, but this one I did. So the choice is yours. And look at that strap. So that's it. I love this pattern. You have to get it. The description's going to be in the pattern link will be in the description. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so that I can keep bringing you more videos like this. So get ready to join me in making the JeroniMini by KC Original. Okay, so let's get ready to make the JeroniMini by KC Originals. So we're going to start off with our front flap piece. It's the piece that has the zipper pocket cut out on it. Okay, and I'm using this bright orange leather from Tandy. So I'm being a little adventurous with the color today. So I never use such bright colors, but hey, it's almost Halloween soon, isn't it? So might as well get in the spirit. So anyway, since my leather's a little bit thin, I interfaced it with some Decovil Light, and I already have my double-sided tape on each side of my zipper window. So and you will need your zipper tape and a zipper pull. Now, if you're going to use leather or vinyl, I mean, you really don't have to line this pocket unless you want to. It's not in the instructions to line this pocket, but I did on the others that I've made, and I'm going to line this one. So I'm going to show you how I did mine. Otherwise, just follow the instructions. If you're not going to line it, it's even easier. But I just cut a couple of pieces, and even though it's suggested to use cotton for the lining, because there is another pocket that is lined and you use cotton, but I use waterproof canvas. I use cotton on one that I made, and I used waterproof canvas on another, and it was fine, but neither was any different. So I'm using this waterproof canvas, and I cut 2 pieces of it for my pocket. So it's not, this about 9 by 7. Okay, so I just cut a piece. It can be a little smaller because we're going to trim a lot of this away. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead, and on the shorter side, I'm going to place my zipper tape right side up, excuse me, onto my lining piece, which is also right side up. And I'm going to, you could use double-sided tape to hold it if you want, or you could just add a couple of clips, which I'm just going to sew this on at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And again, this part is not in the instructions. This is just if you would like to line your pocket, then this is the way I did it. So I just thought I'd share that with you. Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead. Okay. And then I'm going to fold the seam allowance down. I'm going to press it down towards the lining, and I'm just going to top stitch across there. If you don't like the top stitching, you can maybe add some double-sided tape on the other side and just hold it in place. But I like to top stitch my lining down. Okay. Alrighty, so now you'll have this here, and then we're going to do the same thing on this one. So take the other end of the zipper tape, and we're going to line that up. Make sure the pocket, your lining pieces are all lined up on the sides as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sew this one on at a 1/4 inch seam allowance as well. This bag, it sews up so quickly. I mean, cutting it out to sewing it up, it was just a few hours. It's just maybe, I mean, it's just so quick. So who does not love a quick sew? All right, so I'm just gonna top stitch this one down. Okay. So now it should look like this. So this is the wrong sides of my lining, the right side of my zipper. And then I'm just going to take my double-sided tape and I'm going to, well, no, I don't need the double-sided tape because I already have some on here. I already have this tape here, so never mind that. I'm going to add my zipper pull. Okay. So get my zipper pull on here. Make sure it's getting unevenly. And I'm using this black hardware, which I guess I really am thinking Halloween here. Okay. All right. So now we want to make sure the zipper pull is going up, okay, towards the top of our panel here, our flap, and we're just going to line this up and center it onto the flap. Okay, make sure you have enough on each end. You don't want to have it going off like that. So center it both ways. Okay, and get it in the window as nice as you like it. And then I'm going to take the paper off the double-sided tape on one side, and I'm going to press that in place. And if you want some tips on cutting out this zipper window, you can watch my other video where I made the Giardini more. And I think I show in that video the tools I use to cut the window out. Okay. All right. So now once I have that centered there, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to top stitch around the zipper window. So we're going to do that, and we're going to leave long tails to bring to the back and tie off. Move this zipper pull up. Okay, now we're ready to go. And just take your time going around, especially as you start to go around the curve. Just kind of go one stitch at a time, maybe hand crank it. Okay. I'm just going one stitch at a time. Now I'm going back up. I'm going to pull my thread to the back before I get around. And then keep it going. Okay, so I need to move my zipper pull out of the way. Take your time, one stitch at a time, around that. Okay, now here we go. And then meet back where you started. Okay, so I get around, cut long tails, pull to the back here. Okay, and now I'm just going to make a knot. And cut that, and then I'll just give it a little burn with the lighter here. Okay, so now we're all stitched up there. It's looking good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this piece over. So make sure you're folding it over towards this side, the side with the slant here. And we're going to line up our lining pieces here. Okay, and you see it's a lot of extra. We could cut this much smaller, but I just wanted to make sure I had enough. Okay, and then I'm just going to add a couple of clips here. We want to make sure that it's not going to be in the way. So I'm just going to trim it down. Okay, so I'm just going to trim it down. So I like to cut it from this side. And I want to make it a little smaller, so I'm just going to cut it down. And I'm just following the shape of the flap, basically. Okay, so like that. I'll keep these little pieces up here. Okay, so just like that. And now we're just going to sew the pocket up. And it just gives you a little lining there. So I'm just going to pull this back gently here and sew the lining shut. And this way. Alrighty. And you can trim the little extra off if it's a little too much there. And here. Okay. So just like that. And so that's what it's like there. And you have a little lining here. Okay. So now, if you have a label, you can put your label on. I didn't have any labels in black, and so I'm just not going to put a label on. I'm just going to leave it just the way it is. So, anyway, that's your flap. Jazzy was asking me why didn't I use gunmetal. I just decided not to. So I just think, it's going to be okay without, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. First, we have to glue the flap pieces together. So this is the back flap, and we have the front flap, and we're going to glue them together. Just remember, if you're going to put your label, make sure your label's on before you do this. I'm not putting a label on this one, so I'm going to leave it just like this. So we're going to put glue on. I'm using this Aquilum 315. And I'm just going to put it on the edges about a quarter inch from the edge. And like I said, if you use a thin amount, like I've said before using this, it dries really fast and becomes really tacky. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly get this applied. I know some people just don't like glue, but this glue, at least it doesn't smell jazzy.
This glue is Jasmine approved.
It's Jasmine approved. Okay. Alrighty. Then that's all that matters. Is that Jazzy approves. We haven't heard her sneeze. Not yet.
Don't jinx it.
So. Just going around. And another good thing is if I get any onto my leather, just a damp cloth will get it right off. So that's another good thing about this glue. I keep this little rag here that I use when I'm edge painting and doing stuff like this. So that way I can just kind of keep it as neat as possible. Okay, so we're almost finished with this side. I'm keeping it real thin, going around. Okay. So that side, we got that side done. Set that aside, and then we're going to do this one. Yours may or may not have this lining pocket. If you chose to stay true to the pattern and not have a lining pocket, then you won't have to worry about making sure the lining is out of the way. But okay. Okay, so, and these little applicators make it easier too, because I got these from Tandy as well. We're just going around the whole thing over here. I'm sorry if you can hear my fan blowing in the background, but like I said, I was talking to Jazzy about this heat. It's been too hot. And my sewing room just gets super hot if I don't have a fan blowing in here. It's like the AC just does not like reach my sewing room. Okay. So we got that. And you'll see it's like it dries so fast. This one is already like, so you just fan this a little bit. That's why I like to do a really, really thin coat, because it dries so fast. Okay. Now we can start to stick these together. So just matching up the edges here. Try to get it as neat as possible. Just keep it even. And if it's a little off anywhere, I will correct it. Give it a little trim if it's not matching up somewhere. Good. You see how it sticks so quickly. I mean, and it really sticks. Okay, there we go. Just one more side here, so just keeping it together. Just pinching it together like that. All right, there we go. That looks good. So I do have a couple of little spots that I just need to trim just a tiny bit. So I'm going to take this over to my cutting table and I'm just going to trim down those little spots. But otherwise, it's together. It looks good. Okay, so this is your ID pocket. So as you can see, it's just some leather cut in a rectangle. The center part is cut out here. We have the vinyl, clear vinyl. I don't know what gauge this is because it's a big roll I got from Joann's a long time ago. It's the one in the pink paper. I don't know. It didn't say what gauge it was and I can't remember. But it's like, I mean, it's nice and it's not too thin. It's not too thick. But sorry, I don't know what gauge it is. But anyway, I have 1/8 inch double-sided tape around the window here, fairly close to the window, because we're going to trim this clear vinyl away. So don't go all the way to the edge of the outer edge, okay? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to stick the clear vinyl down onto this wrong side here. Okay. And it should be about the same size. So just match up every corner here. And if it's a little bit bigger or smaller or whatever, it doesn't matter because like I said, we're going to trim some away. Just make sure you don't stretch out your leather or vinyl. That's a good thing about this pattern too, is that it can be made in leather, vinyl, cork, you know, so any of your non-frame materials. Okay, so now once you have that on, it's looking okay to you. Now we're going to top stitch around this window here. Okay, and pick an end. I like to do the bottom side here, the short side, because we're going to pull the long tails through and tie it off. Okay, and so I just do it at what I choose to be the bottom, so that way whatever card or ID you're sticking in there, you don't have to worry about anything knotted on the sides or at the top. Okay, so choose the bottom if that's what you'd like. And we're going to top stitch, like I said, and let's go about 1/8 of an inch all around. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this end and get that pulled out of the way. Okay. Looks like this is kind of not making sure that's not stretched out of shape. Okay. Okay, and now I'm going to tie these threads off. So I'll tie that off, and so there we have our ID pocket. It's all stitched up, and we're just going to tie this off. And careful not to burn my vinyl. Okay, so now I have that. Now I can just trim about a 1/4 inch. Well, yeah, just a little under a 1/4 inch. I'm just going to trim this extra away. So just trimming the clear vinyl. Okay. Having that extra, just make sure, it just ensures that you catch the vinyl. You don't want to make it just the right size and then you go to top stitch and you miss some. So this is why it's cut to size here, and then we trim it down. Okay, so now that's done. Now we're going to, so this is the top of my ID. So now I'm going to take my 1/8 inch double-sided tape, set it here, and we're going to just put a piece, not across the top of course, but just around the sides and the bottom. And before you do this, if you want to, if you're using leather and you want to go ahead and you want to edge paint this or use Tokonol, you go ahead and do that before you put this tape and everything. Just me, I'm leaving my most of my edges natural. I'm going to use a little Tokonol, especially on the finished part, the outer parts. But this window here, it's not bad. And this leather is not super fuzzy, so it should be okay. So this we can set aside for a second. So now we're going to grab our front pocket. So I'm using this little suede-like vinyl for my my pockets. So I am mixing some vinyl and some leather. I don't know if that's like, ooh, sacrilege. I don't know. But hey, I'm doing it. And so anyway, so you have your pocket. So again, I put some Decovil Light on mine. There's a line that you mark across the top, and I have some double-sided tape here. Since I have put some Decovil Light on mine, I don't have to put any extra stabilizer on here. But if you're using leather or a thinner vinyl, she does suggest that you put a little strip of stabilizer here, so that it doesn't stretch, your fold doesn't stretch over time. So because we're going to fold down this raw edge, and we're going to fold it down, we're going to fold it down at that line. So first I should have drew a 1 inch line. I didn't do that. I'll do it on the next pocket piece, but I can see the fold. So we're essentially folding down a 1/2 inch here. Okay, so just make sure it'll be better if you draw that 1 inch line and make sure it's all nice and straight. Okay, so basically that's what it's going to be. Okay, and then I have a mark here for my my snap. So I'm going to go ahead and punch the hole for that. Okay. And punch the hole. So I have my hole punched there. I have some snaps here that I got. I just got this little set from Amazon, and they seem okay. So it's just this little, it's just a set, and it has black and antique bronze and or antique brass and gunmetal, some gold, some silver, and it has the little tools that you use to set the snaps. Okay, I'll put the link in the description. And it even came with a cool little hammer. Okay, so I could use the hammer on so many different things. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to set the male or outie version of the snap. So that's going to be the two pieces here. So one will have a short little nub on it, and one will have a longer one like that. I don't know if you can see that. Can they see that good, Jazz? Yeah, just one. So I know it's hard to see. So one has a little bit longer post and one has a short. So the longer one, before we do that, I have a little piece of leather, and I'm going to use that as a little stabilizer on the back. So I'm just going to glue that down. I'm going to use this Aquilum 315, this contact cement. I like it because it doesn't stink and it sets really fast, especially if you just use a thin layer. So I'm just going to put a little thin amount. You don't need a whole lot. And it dries so fast and set up so fast. Okay. So again, like I said, you don't need a whole lot there. Okay. And it's already sticky. See how sticky it is? It's really sticky. Okay. And I'm just going to put that over there, over the hole there. And press that down. Yep. And then re-punch the hole. Okay. And now we can put the long post in through the back, like that. And then we'll put the shorter one on. And then this side with the little nipple on it goes right into the little hole on the back there. So you just set it right in there, just like that. And then we're going to use this one. It has a little concave little hole there, and it goes right over that little nub there. And then you just give it a couple of little whacks, nice solid whacks. Whoop, don't miss though. I'm used to using my big hammer. Okay, and now that's set really good and tight. Okay, so that's basically that. Okay. And now we can top stitch. So we're going to top stitch here 1/8 of an inch from the fold. We're going to leave those long tails to pull to the back so it's nice and pretty. gonna tie these off. It's tied off. It's been so hot here, huh, Jazzy? Oh my gosh. I mean,
110.
Yeah, like there's really like no going out too much. It's just too hot. And I don't know how my boys, like, I don't know how they do it at basketball practice, and then sometimes they have to run the track. And well, they just told me today that the coach told them that he won't make them run if it's over 105.
Oh Lord.
I'm like,
that's still too hot.
That's still too hot to me. I'm sorry.
100 is enough.
That's just too hot for me. Okay, so we have that part done. Now we're going to measure. So let me get my ruler. We're going to measure down from this fold. We're going to measure down 5/8 from this fold. This here. Make a mark here. And then I'm also going to like just mark the center. Because we want to get this centered here. Okay. And I'm going to mark the center here. Okay, we got that. And now we're going to add our ID pocket. So we can go ahead and we can remove the backing to the double-sided tape. And we can get that centered and placed right there on our front pocket. Just like that. Okay. Got a little chalk under there. Remove that chalk. I keep a little towel. It just wipes right off the chalk. Okay, once I have that set. Okay, so now we're going to top stitch 3 sides, down, across the bottom, and up, leaving long tails. Or if you feel like you might need a little more. I think on the others I did do a couple of little back stitches at the top, just to make sure it's nice and not going to pull apart from pulling the card in and out. So I am going to do like 2 stitches forward, 2 stitches back, and then go forward. So, but if you don't want to do that, you can just leave long tails, pull it to the back. Okay. Okay. So I'll go 2 back and then 2 forward. Okay. All right. And now I can still pull that back to the back. So it's nice and clean. And I will still knot that off. Make sure it's extra tight. Okay. All right. So now we have our ID pocket on, and we can give it a little test here. Have a little old Target gift card, and we just make sure that it fits in there. There we go. Okay. Nice. All right. So now grab your other pocket. This is the back pocket. And it's just like the front, except this time I'm going to remember to measure down so that I can just make sure that I'm folding at an accurate seam allowance. This one, all we need to do is just fold that top down. Fold that down, and then we're just going to top stitch. Okay, and then tie these off. All right, so that's it for this part right now. We're going to move on to the next step. Let me grab what we need, and I shall return. Okay, so now we're going to get ready to do our side pocket, our lining for our side pocket. So you will need your 2 lining pieces, your zipper tape, and your zipper pull. So your zipper tape, you're going to mark the centers on the front on both sides, and then put double-sided tape on each side on the back. Okay, on the longer sides of your zipper pocket pieces, you're going to snip or mark, however you choose, the centers here. Okay, just like that. Okay, we don't need our zipper pull just yet. Okay, so now we're going to remove the backing off our double-sided tape, and wrong side of the zipper tape goes to the right side of our lining, and we're going to match those center points and line up the edges. So it should be like this, and we're going to sew that on with a very scant 1/4 inch seam allowance. So we're not going to use the full 1/4 inch seam allowance, a little smaller there. Okay, okay, and now we're going to do the same thing to this side. So removing the backing on the double-sided tape, and we're going to do the same thing, matching up the centers. And the wrong side of the zipper tape will be on the right side of the lining, and sew that side on. Again, scant 1/4 inch. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, if you have this, if it's cotton, you can go give it a press. I'm using this waterproof canvas, so I'm just going to finger press it. But we're going to open up our zipper tape, okay, and get the seam allowance back towards the lining pieces. And we also want to fold these ends here that extend past the zipper, okay, because we're going to top stitch that whole lining piece. So we're going to top stitch from the beginning to the end of our lining, and we're going to do that on both sides. Make sure it's pressed away from the zipper tape. Right, and we'll do the same thing for the other side. Okay, so now it should look like this. This is the right side of the lining. I have the wrong side of the zipper tape here and the opposite on the other side here. So now I'm going to, let me just burn my zipper in. I don't know if I did that earlier. Okay, I'm going to add my zipper pull. And at this point, it doesn't matter which end you add it to. Okay, so I'm going to get that one. And then I'm going to just tack down the ends of my zipper tape so that that pull does not come off. And you can put a little spot of glue too if you'd like. Okay, so now your lining is done. Okay, so now we're going to grab our card pocket lining piece. So it should look like this. And we're going to make some measurements on the back. Okay, so we're going to draw 3/4 inches all around. Okay, and then let me see, make sure I have it oriented the right way here. Yes, so this here. Okay, make sure. I don't know how that's so okay. I'm just marking the fold line as well. Okay, I'm just going to draw that fold line in as well. Okay, so now if you have a cotton lining, you can go over to your iron and you can press these seams down. Okay, but since I'm using using waterproof canvas, I'm going to use double-sided tape. So starting with the longer sides, we're going to fold that down to the line. Right side. Let me just make sure I cut this correctly first. This, yeah. Look like I got a little. I didn't do the best cutting job on that one, but it'll be fine. Okay. So now first I'm going to fold these in. And right to that line. And the same thing here. Okay. Now I'm going to do the short end, or the top and bottom. Okay. And I'm going to fold that down. So this is going to be like a two card slot pocket here. Okay, and then we're just going to snip away these little corners here. So don't go all the way up to the fold. You're going to leave a bit there. We're just going to snip this little bulk away here. Okay. Right there. Okay. Just like that. And now we're going to fold. So we have the fold line. We're going to bring that. What I like to do is just add, I'm going to add a little piece of double-sided tape. I used the 1/8 inch double-sided tape here. And then I also put some along these sides. I think in the instructions she uses glue, but glue works better if it's cotton. It didn't work too good for this waterproof canvas here. I find the tape works the best. So we're going to take that off. And then we're going to fold these sides. Fold it together, matching up everything here. Get it nice and even and neat. Just like so. And it should look like that. Now we're going to top stitch this folded edge. And we can do a couple of back stitches at each end. Okay. Okay, so now we have that. And again, on the back side, I'm going to run some more double-sided tape. So not on the side that we top stitched, but on the other 3 sides. So right on the end, I'm going to put this 1/8 inch double-sided tape. Close to the edge here. If you don't like top stitching through double-sided tape, you can leave this off. You don't necessarily have to do the tape. Okay, I'm just going to fold this to get my center. And I'm going to mark that. Okay. Yep. Okay. Now on this side. So your zipper pull should be going up. Okay. Make sure it's pointed up. And you want to put your pocket on the side with the zipper pull going up. I mean, on the right side. Wait, let me just double check and make sure I'm not telling you wrong. Before I get carried away with myself. See, I was about to tell you wrong. So good thing I checked. To the left, not the right. To the left. So I'm going to turn it where my zipper pull is going up towards me. And I'm going to mark 1 inch from this, from the lining. Okay. So that's 1 inch. Yeah. And there. Okay. And then I'll fold to get the center. Here. And now we can place. Make sure it's sticking. This is why I always double check. Because I would have told you wrong. My mind was thinking right. Okay. And now we're going to get that right there. And get it centered in place. Like that. Just one more, just make sure. Just want to make sure. Okay, yes. It is checking again. Okay. It's here. Okay. So again, zipper pull going up, pockets to the left. Now we're going to top stitch those 3 sides. You can back stitch or you can pull the tails to the back. I'm going to leave the tails and pull them to the back. Okay. Yeah. Tie that off, and same thing here. Alrighty. Alright. So now that's all done. Now I'm gonna get ready to show you what's next. Let me get this cleaned up and grab my next pieces, and we'll be back to finish JeroniMini. Well, not quite finished, but continue. Okay, so now we're going to do the flap tab. So I cut out the flap tab on one piece of leather, and then I just cut another little piece, and I put some Decovil Light. I even have a little piece of Decovil Heavy, just kept out of the seam allowance on the flap tab because I like a little sturdier tab. So it's all glued together, and before I cut it out, I like to go ahead and top stitch. So now I'm just going to top stitch around 1/8 of an inch around. I'm going to leave long tails up here. So there's 2 marks up here. These are the rivet placements, and down here is the snap placement. So I'm going to leave long tails up here by the rivet placement, because then once it's riveted to the flap, then we won't see those little the knot on the back. So that's where I'm going to start up here. So again, I'm just doing 1/8 of an inch from the end, and we're going to go and take it real slow around this curve. I like to hand crank and go 1 stitch at a time. I just find it easier to top stitch before I cut it out, because I have more surface. I'm not trying to hold on to a little small piece. Okay, and I'm just going to pull this to the back here. Okay. Ooh, what was that? What did I knock over? It was a ghost. Something fell, and I don't know what. Jazzy, it wasn't a ghost though. See, it's these Halloween colors that get into you, Jazzy. Okay, I don't know what that was. That's crazy, huh? Okay.
But at least the ghost is over by you, not me.
You're just so funny. Excuse me. Okay, so now it's top stitched. I'm going to tie off these threads, and then we're going to cut it out. Now, I like to cut it out just with a good pair of scissors. Just take my time. So so I'm just gonna knot that, give it a good burn with the lighter, and that out of the way. Okay, so now, as I said, I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm going to trim this extra away very carefully. There we go. Okay. So we'll just get rid of that. And now we have a nice little sturdy tab. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to punch the holes. And I am going to edge paint it. Jazzy convinced me to edge paint the flap, so I'm gonna edge. I'm just gonna keep the orange, not doing black. She's like, do black. No, I'm not doing black. I'm not stressing out.
I didn't say do black. I said it would look good with black.
Whatever, same thing. But I'm not doing that. Okay, so all right, just trimming off the little extras there. Okay, so that looks good. So now I know I did not top stitch my flap. So I'm going to come back. I am going to top stitch my flap. Sorry if you thought, what is she didn't top stitch? I am going to top, but I had to think about it because Jazzy was whispering to me that she thinks I should edge paint it. So I didn't top stitch it yet. So I put a little base coat on the edges, on the raw edges, and I'm going to add some edge paint. And I'm going to do the same thing to my tab. But before, well, no, yeah, I'm going to do that first, and then we're going to set the other part of the snap, and then we're going to finish up. So let me go ahead and get those painted up, and then I'll come back and top stitch the flap, and then we will continue. Alrighty, so I'm back. I have started edge painting my flap. I think I need to put maybe two coats on there. But for now, I'm just going to leave it for right now, and I'm going to go ahead and top stitch. So we're going to top stitch all the way around. Add 1/8 or 1/4 inch to whatever your preference is. I'm going to do 1/8. And I'm going to start up here at the top, and I'm going to leave long tails to tie off to the back. Okay, so yep, I'm kind of glad Jasmine suggested the edge paint. I wasn't going to, but I think I kind of like it like that. Edge painting is not my favorite, and I'm not that great at it, so. Oops. Getting a little off track here. Alright, I find it works better if I hold this up like this. Of course, it wants to go a little wiggly while I'm doing contrast stitching. Oh well, I got a little bobble, a little bit of bob, a little bibbity bobbity bobble. By the way, Jasmine's not with me right now. She had to go do some schoolwork, so Big Sister Joy is here helping. Say hi, Joy.
Hi.
I had to go wrangle some help And Joy, she chose the short straw.
No, I didn't.
No, they're helpful. Okay, so that little edge paint right there. Get that off. Alrighty. Okay, so we're almost back to the beginning. You hear the dog tapping on the floor because Joy is his person and she can't go anywhere without him tagging along. So
he's trying to be cameraman right now.
Normally. Okay, so we're back around. So now I'm just going to tie these threads off. Our flap is finally done. I know I did this all kind of goofy out of order, but you know, I really hadn't planned on painting. So okay, so that's good. So I'm gonna just all right. Yeah, I got a little booby thread right there. Just a little boop 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 boopy doop. It's not that bad. All right, so flap, got our flap done. Okay, so now we're back with this. So I have also edge painted my tab, and I think it's good. I think I put 2 coats, and I'm gonna just leave it like that. So now we're ready to put the other half of our snap on. So I'm just gonna grab, so I'll have this piece here, and then this snap. Oh, and I need the tools to put it on. Okay, so I only need this one this time. Oops, put that in there. So now we're going to put this. So this is the, let's see, this is the right side. And then remember, the end with just the one hole is for the snap. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that on. Oh, that's so cute. And then this end goes here like that. Put that in there. Well, not like that, but you know. Okay, and it snaps. Once you hear it snap on, and then we're going to get that there like that. And okay, hold on a second. Yeah, making sure. Did I use the right one? Did I put the right piece on? Because one, hold on. They're two different, there's 2 different ones. This one has a gold back. What's the difference between these? Huh, that's weird, that's different. Because this one now, I think I put the wrong thing on. Hold on one second, because this one, I don't think this goes. I gotta look at it and see why they're two different. Ah, that's what I did. There was another piece stuck in there. Because I was like, why is that good? Look, I accidentally grabbed, this was inside the snap head. That doesn't go there. Okay, now, okay, here we go. So I was like, why did it look like that? Okay, so there. Now we're ready. Okay. Yikes, that was gonna be, I'm glad I saw that because that would not have worked. Okay, now we're ready. So now we have this tool and we're gonna make sure that's on, and we're gonna stick it right down in there in the hole there. Okay, make sure it's in the right spot. There we go. And then we get the little hammer that came with it and give it a couple of whacks. Uh-oh, I moved it around. I'm just not doing a good job with this today. Okay. Oh, these are smaller than the ones that I normally use, so it's just the hole is really small. Okay, let me see if that works. Yeah, that's working. Okay, just want to make sure. Get it in there. Okay. There we go. Yes, now it's set. All right, sorry that took so long. Sheesh. I just was having some issues. Okay, let me just check and make sure that the snap works. Always check and make sure before you move along. So remember, we had the other end on this one. So, music to my ears. You hear the snap? All right. So that's how you know it's working good. Okay. So now we're going to move on to attaching our pockets to our, so this is our main piece. So it also has a zipper window. So this is going to get folded in half like this. And we're going to have a zipper pocket here. And then we're going to have a pocket here on the front. And we'll have a pocket on the back. And then the flap gets attached. So right now we're going to get this prepared to add our pockets. So we have our front pocket. And then we have our back pocket like that, right? So we need to, I'll take this tab off for now. Move these out the way, and we're going to put some lines on here. So use your marking tool that can come off, and we're going to mark. We're going to make some marks. So follow the pattern for the measurements. Like this one. Okay. And I'm just going all the way around. Okay. There's our measurements, our marks. And now we're going to take our pockets. We're going to take our 1/8 inch double-sided tape. I'm going to take the first one, which is the front pocket, and I'm just going to run this along the edge of the pocket here, run all the way around. Okay, for that one. So we have our double-sided tape on this one, and we'll do the same thing for this one. all around. And we got it. Okay. All right. And now once we have that, so again, like I said, so this is going to be the front. So we're going to have this pocket on the left side. When it's open, we're going to have that one on the left side, and we're going to have this one on the right side. Okay. So we can take the tape off, the backing off the double-sided tape, and we're going to use these lines. So we're going to line it up with the line here and at the bottom. Okay. Just get it lined up. Just like that. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. Get the specs off. Okay. These colors are not my normal colors that I sew with. So it's so strange to me that I'm picking something that's so bright and crazy. But I'm kind of digging it, because let me show you. Let me show you my webbing. See, I have this webbing. Isn't that cool? So I brought in the colors of the webbing. So I thought that was kind of cool. So we'll see. Kind of matchy, huh? But you do? I'm a matchy kind of person sometimes, you know? Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of digging it too, Joy. Okay. Oh, I hope I didn't scrape up my... So I'm just wiping the chalk off. Okay. So now we're going to sew our pockets on, and we can leave long tails. So bring to the back here. So I'm just going to start here at the top. And sew all the way around. And remember, this is vinyl, and I did not bother with any kind of edge coating on this. I was like, I'm not. No. I would make a mess. I just know for sure. Okay. So. Alright. So that one's done. And we bring those to the back here. Okay. And then we're going to do the other one, and then I'll tie those off. There's that one. And alright, so with the black stitching, I'm starting to like it. I'm starting to like it, y'all. You know, just, and look, I even wore I got my basketball mom shirt on, which has got the orange and the black. I'm feeling the orange and the black, y'all. I'm feeling the orange and the black. I must be getting to me. Okay. This. Alrighty. Alright, and you know what? I think I forgot to pull my black rivets out. So because we're gonna put some rivets in here. So I'm going to go ahead and go get my black rivets, and then we're gonna come back and get those. Well, I'll go ahead and I'm gonna install the rivets, and then we're gonna come back and then we'll finish up. We're getting close to finishing up. And let me show you one more time. That is looking so cute. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be so cute. So okay, so let me find my rivets, my black rivets, and we'll be back. Okay, so I got my rivets, and I just cut some pieces of Peltex, and I punched a hole so that there's a little more stability behind here. And I got my holes punched in each corner of my pockets. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put those rivets in and set them. I think I got these from Amann. And I don't use too much black hardware like this, but I thought it looked really nice with this one. Okay. So now we get those set. All right, now we're gonna get our flat back, and I said I was gonna put another coat, but I don't think I really need it. I think it looks okay. The more I look, I'm like, I think it looks good, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay, so now, because this, so it goes up back like that, and it's gonna come. Oh yes. Okay, so we're going to add the flap also. So we're going to put a piece. I just put a piece of 1/8 inch double-sided tape right here at the top. Do that, and I'm gonna get that pressed down. Okay. And then we're just going to like pretty much line it up with this pocket, and I leave like a little small gap, like 1/16 of an inch, approximately like that. Okay. And I'm just going to press that down. So just make sure it's even. And so it's like that. So it's looking like that. So now we're going to attach it with a stitch 1/4 inch from the top. Okay. Oops. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. 1/4 inch. Leave long tails, and we're going to stitch across. Alright, so that's one. we're going to pull that to the back, tie it up. Okay, I'm going to do that, but next I'm going to measure 5/8 from the top of the pocket. Make sure that's looking even. So 5/8. And why is my wheel not turning here? It's like it wants to scratch up my leather. I don't know what's going on. It's just one of them days, so it's just not wanting to act right. Okay, and we're gonna stitch 5/8 of an inch from there. So, and also leave long tails. So 2 rows here. Okay. Okay. And again, we're gonna pull those tails and we're gonna tie that off. Okay. So we'll tie all of these off. So cut those. Oops. Over there. And over here. Okay. Alrighty, so good. I gotta see how it's looking. Okay, I can stop that now. Okay, so now we're gonna put some stabilizer. Now, here's my thing. So I did not have any black connectors. And I couldn't find the right ones that I wanted. So I'm going to use these. I have these corset rings. And I used these on one of the other ones that I did. Let me show you. Grab that for me. Thank you, Joy. So I made this one. And I used the corset rings. So I used that corset ring and it works really good. And so I said, well, I have these. They're gunmetal. They're not black. But I'm going to attach it with the black rivets. I'm not going to use the rivets that came with it. So I'm just going to, you're only going to see just this little gunmetal ring. So that's what I'm going to do. So we have to put some stabilizer here. So first we're going to mark the fold line. So I'm going to line this up and just, so we have a line there and then the other. So it's going to fold about right here. So we know where to put the stabilizer. And all I'm doing is I'm going to take, so I have this little scraps. I keep scraps of Decovil heavy nearby. So I'm going to cut a little piece. So I just need a couple of pieces, just like that. And then I'm going to use some double-sided tape to just hold them down there. So I'll just put a little piece on each one. Alright. Okay. And we're going to, so this one gets placed like about 1/8 of an inch from the top, and then also about 1/8 of an inch from that fold line. So I'm just going to press that down there in place, about right there, and then we'll put one on this side. Okay, again, 1/8 of an inch from the edge and from the side. Okay. So it's gonna look like that. So that's just so when we attach our rings, we'll have that extra support there. Okay, so that's what that's for. All right, so now we're gonna get ready to do our lining. I believe that's next, right? I'm gonna do our lining pocket here. Okay, let me just make sure, because I've been like forgetting stuff all day. Like my mind is not, it's all willy-nilly, right? Yeah. So we want to do our pocket, okay? So right there. All right. So now we want the zipper to go up towards the top. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to get that centered in our window, and I'm just lining this up here pretty much with the bottom here, and it's not going to be perfect if I sewed one side is a little further up than the other, but that's okay because I'm going to be trimming some of that off anyway. Okay, so let's get this situated. It's all looking good and centered to me. The zipper pull is going up towards the top. So now I'm going to pull this back. I'm going to remove the backing from my double-sided tape. Okay. And we're going to press that side down. Okay. And then I'll lift this side up and remove that tape and get that pressed down. Okay. Make sure it's centered. Okay, and that looks good. Now your pocket's all open. We want to make sure that we're not going to be sewing through our lining. We're just, when we top stitch around that window, our stitches should fall within the zipper, not onto the lining. So just make sure if you have to put clips on the side to keep your lining out of the way, then you need to do that. Okay, so now we're just going to stitch around, and we're going to leave long tails. Okay, so I'm just going to find a place, get started, and go. Let's start a little down here. Okay. Make sure she could go over just a tad more. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. And just as before, take your time, one stitch at a time, going around these curves. You don't want to rush it. Make it look wibbly wobbly. Is that a real thing? Wibbly wobbly?
I guess.
Yes. Just making stuff up at this point. Okay.
It's a catchphrase.
It's a catchphrase.
It's your catchphrase.
It's my wibbly wobbly. Yeah. I got lots of them, girl. Okay. So I'm going to move my zipper full. Okay. Just making my way around. You know I'm good for making up some words. Alright, and now I'm going to pull this tail through to the back before I finish up. Pull it back. And there we go. Right back where we started. Okay. Alright. So now, flip this over and pull the other thread tail through. Okay. I did pull the right one, didn't I? Oh, yay. Oh, this got caught up under one of the stitches. Isn't that wonderful? Well, isn't that dandy? I told you it's one of those crazy days. Okay. So now I'm going to make a couple of knots here. Okay. I'm just going to make a little knot here. And then she suggests that so I'm going to thread this needle. So I'm not going to cut these threads. I'm going to thread this needle, hopefully, all at once. Okay. There we go. And then we're going to go up under here. I'm going to go, which way do I want to go? I'll go this way. It's a little bit shorter. And I am going to feed this up and up through here. If I can, so get it in there. Okay. Finding my way. This needle, I should have used a smaller needle, but there we go. All right, and just pull the tails through like that, so it's under the lining, and then I can just kind of cut that. Okay, so that'll be under and out of the way. Okay, so now there we go. It's coming together. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to sew the lining shut. So we're going to sew the sides first. The easiest thing to do is sew the sides first. So we're going to match up the sides. And then we'll sew the bottom. We'll sew the bottom last. So let's do the sides first. Sew that at 3/8. So we'll get that. I'm going to flip it over this way. Okay. And I'm going to sew this side. So. Make sure you get this out of the way. You just want to sew your lining. Okay. So we got one side. clips going. Okay, and then we're gonna clip the other side. Line that up. So it's important that you do not make your zipper any longer than she tells you to, because you don't want the zipper in the way when you go to put your connectors on. So I remember one of the testers, she was like making sure everybody did not forget that because it happened to her. So that's one of the great things about testing, is that we can get all this stuff out of the way so that you don't have to make those mistakes. So, because sometimes, you know I do on a lot of patterns, I cut my zipper tape a little longer than they say. But in this case, you really do want to keep it at the measurement that she gives you, or else it will cause you problems. Okay, so now we're going to sew the bottom up, also at 3/8. So sewing the sides up first makes it a lot easier. Okay, so trust the process, as they say, right? Okay. Alrighty. So now we're going to trim. We're going to trim the sides, these sides down. So about half of the seam allowance, we're going to trim it. If you're using cotton, you might want to use some pinking shears to trim this down. Okay. So we're just going to trim it down. Make sure it's not going to be in the way. Alrighty. And see, it doesn't make it bulky. It does not make it bulky at all using waterproof canvas. Okay, so we're looking good. Look at that, we're looking good. Are we looking good, Joy? Mm-hmm. We're looking good, honey. Oh, I really like that. Okay. All right, let me stop.
Pat yourself on the back.
I will pat myself on the back. Yay. Okay, so now we're ready to, we're going to glue this together. We're going to get this glued together. And then we're just going to have to put our tab on, do our strap, and that's it. We will be finished. Okay, so let me get the glue. Again, I'm using the Aquilum 315. And then I will edge coat. Since I edge coated the flap, I will edge coat around once I'm done. Okay, but I'll do that later. I won't bore you with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it all glued up. So I'll be back. I'm not gonna bore you with watching me apply the glue, but I will, once the glue is ready, I will come back so that you can see me get this all put together and get the final top stitching done. And like I said, then we'll just get the strap and go from there. So I'll be back. Okay, so I have applied the glue all around the edges. And if you feel like your pocket is still a little too long, you can trim some more down if you need to, but it's fine. I find it easier to just pull the sides up towards the middle like this and then start working them together. Okay, and then that way my pocket stays straight and doesn't bunch up. Okay, so now I'm just putting all the edges together. Okay, so just bringing it together and around. Okay, just making sure. Let me do this top here. Okay. All right. Just try to get it straight as I can together. So just work it together the best you can. And if it's anything that doesn't match up good, then we can just trim it off. Okay. So that's looking okay to me. Now I'm going to work my way here at the bottom. Make sure that I get these corners straight. And don't press too hard until you know, because this glue, it does hold tight. Okay, so I think that looks okay there. And get this. Try to even it up as much as possible. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I will have to trim just a little tiniest bit off. Okay, so that's okay. So let me try to straighten this one up. Pull it. Okay. All right. So we'll use what did I do with it? Okay, I'm just going to roll this out. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to trim down any little areas I need to trim down after I do my my top stitching. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. So now I'm going to go ahead and top stitch. So we're going to first, before we top stitch, we're going to round this corner some. This corner right here at where the pocket is. See how it's pointy. So we're going to round that. So we have this little corner template. Okay, and we're just going to match that up just like that. We're going to do that. Get it. And then we can get it over there to the corner. And we're going to just mark that curve there. And then we're going to just trim that part off so that it's kind of rounded to match the other side. My son's home. The dog's saying hello.
Yo.
Okay. Okay. Hello, Jonathan.
Hi, Mother.
Okay. All right, so now I have that rounded off. So now we can go ahead and top stitch. Okay. So I'm going to start. Let me just check my bobbin real quick because I've been going quite a time on this bobbin and I don't want to run out now. Yeah, it's kind of low. So I'm going to switch out to a fresher bobbin. And we're going to start right here on that rounded corner. We're going to do a couple of back stitches. Okay, so make it neat as possible. Okay, and I'm just going to take a couple of stitches and then back stitch. I did increase my stitch. Those first few stitches are just a little bit smaller because I almost forgot. Well, I didn't almost forget. I forgot to put my stitch length back to 5 for top stitching. Okay, so I like to fold it up kind of like this so that way I can really get to the edge. And you do have to fold this flat back to top stitch the top here, and it is a little tight, so you want to just get that flat folded back as much as possible. And I kind of stand it up a little and then kind of press down so that I can get it as flat as possible, and just use my finger there to hold it down and just go real slow. Okay. And I like to use my pliers here to hold it down. Hold it down there. If you have a narrow foot or like a zipper foot or something, this might be the time to pull it out if you're having a hard time reaching this part. Okay. Okay, I think that's good. All right, check this side. That looks good. And just make sure ends not going nowhere. Okay. All right, that looks good. Okay, so like I said, I just got a little bit of cleanup to do on the edges, just a tiny little bit, and then I'm going to edge paint and that. Okay, so now we're going to get ready to put our tab on. Okay, so we'll need our rivets for that. Where'd they go? I just threw them in here. second ago. That's why I shouldn't have done that. I'm just all over the place today. This is one of those, been one of those crazy days where I'm just crazy. Okay, so we're gonna need a couple of rivets for the tab. So pull those out. So now we want to make sure that our flap is going down straight. Okay, so keep it straight. We don't want to make sure it's not, these stitches are not going to be even with the pocket. We just want to make sure it's straight and even going down here, just like that. So I just look at it and just make sure it's straight. Okay, before I get ready to add my tab. So what I'm looking at is that I have even amount on both sides here. Okay, then we're going to put our snap on, and then we're going to take our ruler, and we want to make sure that we have like a 90-degree angle here. So we don't want it to be like this when we put our ruler here, the tab, if it's not lining up with the edge here, then it's not in the right place. So we want to turn it until it's lined up with the ruler there at a 90-degree angle like that. Okay, so then that way we know it's good right there. Okay, so now I can take my pin here. Okay. And we're going to mark the placement. Okay, so we have our placement marks there. Okay. And then we're going to punch our holes. Now, if you line this pocket, you are punching through, but it's okay because we're not worrying about this part down here. We still have plenty of room for the pocket to put stuff in the pocket there. So we're only hitting just a little bit of the pocket there. Okay, so now let's go through here. I'm gonna put our rivets, get everything lined up. Make sure it's nice and tight. Oops. Okay. There we go. I'm going to unsnap this so that I can set my rivets. Snap on, and look at that, so cute. I love these. I love making these. They're so cute. Okay, so now I still need to put my connectors on. So remember I said I'm using these, I'm going to use these little gunmetal ones. I really wished I could have found the right ones in black, but I think it'll still be okay. So I'm going to unsnap this, and we're going to just put it right, I'm just going to line it up right under the stitches, and I'm just getting it right on the edge there. It's going to go, it doesn't matter if I put it up or to the side because it's going to be able to move a little. Okay, so I'm just marking the placement. So whatever strap connectors you're using, you just want to make sure that if you have the kind that go up like this, you want to make sure it's straight up, not going off to the side. Okay, so just be mindful of how you install your connectors. So, and I get this one here, I'll get my placement mark there. Okay, and I'm going to use the black rivets. Like I said, I'm not going to use the gunmetal ones that came with it because I feel like the black will kind of, excuse me, hide the fact that they're not black. You think that's going to work?
I think so.
Or the hardware police will come and arrest me for mixing 2 different colors. It's like, it's my bag. I can do what I want to do. Okay. So I'm just going to punch the hole there. There, I marked. Okay. And I'm not punching through my stitches. Okay. I'm getting that one. Just like that. My stabilizer's under there. I can feel it. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the rivet in. And then I'm going to add the ring here. And then put the cap on. Okay, just like that. And do the same thing on this side. And I know I still have a little, I still have to edge paint. So I'm not going to set these rivets just yet. Okay, I just want you guys to see what it's looking like. Because I'm not going to be able to, well, no. I'm not going to really be able to edge coat with these on. So I just want you to see what it's looking like there. All right. See? I know they're a little loose because they're not set, but see, you can just mainly see the black, huh?
Mm-hmm. I can't tell.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to really be able to tell. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. Okay, we're going to do the strap real quick. And then I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to edge coat. Then we're going to come back for a final look at this JeroniMini that I'm really falling in love with. Joy's trying to claim it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I'm really starting to like this orange. But anyway, so let's look at the strap here. So let me grab my webbing and my strap connectors. Everything is hiding from me. I got my strap connector pieces, and I have my hardware here. So I'm gonna grab 2 swivel hooks, 3/4 inch swivel hooks, and I got these. I have my 3/4 inch swivel hooks. I have my, you know what I forgot? I forgot to pull out the slider. So, all right, so let me get the rest of my stuff because I have to go through my hardware and get the slider out. I forgot to get out the adjustable slider. So I'll be back after I get everything situated. Okay, so like I said, I have my 2 strap connectors. I have Decovil Light on the back for a little more stability. I have put double-sided tape on it. I have my 3/4 inch swivel hooks. I have my 1.5 inch rectangle ring and 1.5 inch slider and my webbing. So I've marked out 10 inches of my webbing, and I'm going to cut that off. And you need to make sure you burn these ends really well so it doesn't unravel. So don't be afraid to give it a good burn there. Okay, because we don't want that to unravel. And we're gonna do the same. I already burned the other ends, so we're gonna give that a good melt. Okay, so we're gonna take the short end and we're gonna bring these edges together here, just like that. And I'm just going to stitch it together. Well, first, forgot to thread it, my rectangle ring through first. All right, I told you it's been one of those days. Okay, so now, and then I'm just going to stitch this together just to hold it in place. Okay. Just a little stitch there. Okay. I don't want that to come loose. Okay, and now on one of our connectors, I'm going to remove the tape, the backing from the tape, and I'm going to set that right there, right in there, keeping it away from the sides there. Get it where I want it. Now it looks good. And then I'll remove, well, before I remove that, I'm going to put my swivel hook on. So I just give it a little fold so I can get my swivel hook on. Okay. And if you think you need more stabilizer down the center, then go ahead. Since I have Decovil Light on my piece, I am not going to add any more stabilizer there. Okay. And now we're going to match this up. So you can look at the sides to see, make sure that it's matching up. Okay. Matching up there. Okay. And then I like to kind of measure where I'm going to sew across so that it's the same on both. So wherever you want to sew across, and I'm going to do it about right there. It's about, well, I'll do about 1 3/8. Is that about what I want, or 1 1/2? 1 1/2. I'll do 1 1/2. About 1 1/2. So I'm just gonna make a mark across there. So just like that. And I'm just gonna sew all around. And I am gonna back stitch a little at the top. Okay, so I'm just going to get this sewn on. Okay. Come down. Give it a little pivot at the corner. Okay. And then sew across. And then back. And I'm going to sew across here. Alrighty, so that we have that end on. I'm just gonna, if my fan would stop fanning my flame. Okay, so now we have that end on. So now we're gonna take the rest of our webbing, okay, and we're gonna thread it through our adjuster. Okay. And you can double fold it. There's some instructions on what to do if your webbing is too thick to do the double fold. Okay, but I think that's just fine. I'm just going to double fold, and then I'm just going to put 2 rows of stitches across there. Yeah, I just do a little rectangle around. So down. Okay, so now we have that end on. So now we're going to thread it through. Oh, sorry, we're not going to thread it through there. First, we're going to thread it through our rectangle here. Then we're going to thread it through our slider, up and over. Okay, so now our strap is looking like that. Now on this end, we're going to take our other swivel hook, get it on, and then we're ready to put our other connector there. Just make sure you have the right sides up. Okay, so and I'm gonna do the same thing. Get it in place. And then move this side. Again, I'm going to mark my stitch here, make sure they're pretty even. And then we're getting ready to be done. Alrighty. There we go. Strap is done. Looking good. Remember, I don't have my corset rings secured because I still need to edge paint. So, but I just want you to see what this is looking like. So, oh my goodness. That's so cute. Isn't that cute? It came out so adorable. I love that. So this, my friends, is the JeroniMini. I have the strap twisted. There we go. This is the JeroniMini by KC Original. All right. So I know I just had some bobbles because I'm not used to the late night sewing. And it's been a long day. But I promise you this goes together so easy. I've done 3. So I'll show you those. But I'm going to come back after I have the edge painting complete and my rivets are secured here on my corsets, and just give you a final look. But for right now, that's it. The JeroniMini is done. It's so cute. Oh my goodness. I just love it. And when you open this pocket here, and you know what I forgot to do? Oh my God.
What?
I didn't stitch the center of my card slots.
Oh. So you just got big card
So I just
slots?
got one big one little big slip pocket here.
It's okay. It's a lip gloss pocket.
I cannot believe I did that.
It's alright. It's mine anyway, so.
Oh my goodness. That is so funny that I did not. I just realized that I marked the center and I never stitched it down. So, oh well. Guess what? You can still put a card in. It still works. Oh my gosh, that is funny. I'm sorry. This is the 3rd one, and you would think that I would just be like on it, right? But it seems like once the camera starts rolling, like I just like forget stuff, like seriously. Like sometimes I really do just forget stuff. But anyway, I still think it came out wonderful. I still love that one. All right, so I'll be back to show you once it's been edge coated. Okay. All right, everybody. So I'm back. This has been such a little crazy ride with me today, and I appreciate all of you who stayed tuned with me today. I made some little mistakes because I was obviously not in my right mind today. But anyway, this is the JeroniMini by Casey Original. Like I said before, it's all done. I love the orange. I'm a fan of the orange now. I love the orange, right? I love it with this webbing. I have edge painted. I only put 1 coat, and I'm just going to leave it. Joy is claiming this bag, and she said a coat was enough for her. So I love the black hardware. I love it. She's even okay with the fact that I forgot to stitch my card slot down. We're going to blame that on Jasmine, because I did do the pocket when Jasmine was recording, and Jasmine should have told me that I didn't stitch down the center of my card pocket. So she's trying to make her way back in here now after she's finished her schoolwork, and she's got her arms folded, but she knows it's her fault. So we're gonna blame Jasmine. But anyway, Joy's okay with that because she said she was just gonna put some lip balm in there anyway. So again, look at that pocket detail on the back. I just love it. The pattern link is going to be in the description. I'll put as many other supplies that I used in there as I can recall. And get this pattern. If you have the Geronimo, the Geronimore, the JeroniMini, now we got the JeroniMini. You got to have all of them, okay? And make your whole set, right? So thank you for watching with me. It's been so much fun. I promise you, I'm going to make a lot more of these. Have a good night.